Right, hello, hello. Can you hear me and see me? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Hello, hello. Welcome to our session today. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Should be okay. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Perfect. I am very happy to be spending this time with you today. So, hello, hello, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. I'm not sure if my camera is on. I don't see myself on Facebook yet, but we'll see what happens. Hello, hello. Welcome. Okay, you can hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, I'm trying to figure that out right now. One second. Let's see. Thank you for being here and waiting while I figure this out. Okay, here we go. Let me see here. What is going on? Hello, hello, Lori. Hello, hello, welcome. I'm trying to figure out why my camera's not working. We're going to get through this, I promise. We will. All right, today we are here. We're going to explore. Well, I'm going to share with you a guide. Okay. Here it is. Did this work? Yes. So I can see myself. I don't know if I'm on Facebook now. Let me know if you can see me now. Technical difficulties. Hooray! Okay, amazing. Welcome. Amazing. We are live now. Okay, let me stop sharing the music. And let me turn off the music so you can hear me. All right, perfect. We are on board. We are live. We are here. I am here now. Thank you so much for being here with me. All right. So today is all about the momentum, the power of momentum. And I'm going to be sharing with you a way that we can move from feeling stuck and then go to achieving our goals. All right. So here we go. Today, the goal for today, what I really want to drive home is that we can only perceive life from the level of consciousness that we inhabit in this moment. Right? We can only perceive life based on the level of consciousness that we perceive in this moment, right? Okay, so let's get started. Let me know where in the world you are joining us from. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Melinda. Hello, Lori. So happy to have you all here with us. Let me know where in the world you're joining from and what the weather is like. So I'm in Ontario, and there are forest fires happening all over the province and even in Quebec. And outside, it literally smells like a campfire. And so if we have the windows open, it smells like campfire. So I would love to know what's happening in your end of the world, in your little corner of the world, what's happening weather-wise for you, because I'm quite interested if you're having something different happening than what you normally have in the beginning of June. So our understanding of life is determined by the level of consciousness that we inhabit. Now, does everybody know the map of consciousness? There's so many different versions. There's so many different versions of it. I'm going to see if I can pull one up for you. Here's one I can pull one up for you to see. And let's share screen here. I'm going to pull this up for you so you can see the map of consciousness. There are many, many different versions of this, right? But here is a map of consciousness that was co-created by Dr. David Hawkins and his team. And in this map, we can actually see the view of life, the associated emotional state, the energetic frequency or the calibration, and the level, right? The name or the level that the team created, which actually also coincides with our emotional state, right? So if you look at the levels, there's like shame, guilt, apathy. Those are all states of being as well as emotions that we can feel. So with this map of consciousness, this is what I want to focus on today. And I want to share with you how we can use this map of consciousness in a way that we can better understand our way of being and how we're interacting with the world. World-renowned psychoanalyst Carl Jung reminds us that, and I quote, "We should not pretend to understand the world only by the intellect. We apprehend just as much by feeling. Therefore, the judgment of the intellect is at best only half the truth. And we must, if it be honest, also come to the understanding of its own inadequacy," right? This map of consciousness is often misinterpreted, and I'm hoping I can shed a light on how we can utilize this map a little bit further. So the significance of moving up the scale of consciousness, right? This is really important. It's really important for us to know when we are moving up the scale of consciousness, we're not actually, it's not 10 points that we move up if we're moving from shame to guilt. It's not 10 points. This is actually an logarithmic, it's a hard word to say, scale, which means that 30 is 30 times 30 times 30 times 30, right? It is, no, sorry, 30 times 29 times 29 plus 29 times 28. Like it's a logarithmic scale. So even moving 1 point up the scale is a huge accomplishment. And most people don't actually move up and like remain at a level of consciousness in their human lifetime, in one human lifetime. It often takes more than one. So how are we going to use this scale, and how do you know, okay, well, what is truth and what is not true, and why do we have this scale? The level of 200 has a downward spiral to it, has a downward energy pull to it. Everything above 200 has an upward pull to it. Does that make sense? And I think I've frozen. So this is really important because we need to know the level of truth happens at the level of 200. So when you are trying to, so how can we use this, right? When we're trying to figure out, is this teaching an authentic teaching, right? Then we can calibrate the teaching itself. We can calibrate the teacher teaching the teaching. We can calibrate the message. We can calibrate the class. We can calibrate all of the pieces so that we can ensure that all of it is at a higher level of consciousness. We don't want to follow teachings that calibrate 175, 150, 125. We don't want to follow teachings that are low vibrational, because they are all have a downward energy. The body literally constricts and contracts when we are around this negativity. And you might have felt that. Let me know in the chat. Have you ever felt in your body a light, little constriction, a little constriction. Feel like you're lying to me. That level of constriction, it's an innate feeling, but it happens for everything under 200. So how can we use the map of consciousness to support us, right? Well, here's the thing. And I think it's important to use a quote from I can't even say his name, Thich Hat Hanh, right? They once said, awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. Awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. What does he mean by that? When we explore life from a higher level of consciousness, we see things from a different perspective. And when we see things from a different perspective, we're able to explore them and experience them from a different experience. So they say that the happiest people live the happiest lives, or the most positive people live the most positive lives. It's because they literally see the positive things in life. And so the brain and the filters of our system literally filter out the things that we are not focusing on, the negative things. We don't see them. We're not attracted to them. They don't come in our way. We can walk the same sidewalk as someone else who is at a lower level of consciousness, and they may see misery, they may see garbage, they may see litter, they may see graffiti, they may see darkness, they may see all that is wrong with the world. And yet a person walking right beside them at a higher level of consciousness will see flowers and sunshine and light and joy and peace, and feel the warm breeze and smell the yummy flowers, and like notice the green in the buds, because the way that we perceive life is 100% dependent on our level of consciousness. And our level of consciousness is our awareness, is our level of awareness. So when we want to rise up in our level of consciousness, one of the things that we can do, I want you to write this down, is gratitude practices, is to be happy, be grateful for this moment. Be grateful for the mess that you get to tidy up. Be grateful. When I was in my worst of worst, I literally would be so upset tidying up the kids' shoes at the front of the house. And then I started taking on a gratitude practice. And I was like, you know what? I'm changing my life. I'm tired of being miserable. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of feeling constricted. And I want more expansion, love, and joy. I want that happiness that I used to have as a kid. I want a carefree life. Does anybody else desire those things? Does anybody else desire those things? Let me know in the chat if that's what you desire. Happiness, joy, gratitude, peace, expansion. Let me know in the chat. Give me 1 or 2 words. Give me a phrase in the chat. I wanted all of those things. And so instead of picking up the shoes and like, oh, the kids never tidy up the shoes and I'm always doing it, or getting angry and calling them down, come here and tidy up your shoes. Instead of doing all that, I was like, all right, wow, my kids have a lot of pairs of shoes. How lucky are they to have multiple pairs of shoes? How lucky am I that I can afford to give and provide for them multiple pairs of shoes? So many shoes that there's a huge mess all over the front of our entryway. I have so much to offer these children that I can give them more shoes. I can give them more shoes, lots of shoes, right? And that changes the perception and the way that I dealt with the anger that was showing up, picking up after these kids and their shoes. Because now it's like, look at me. I'm providing not just love, care, and support, but I'm also providing all of these shoes for these kids. Yeah, they're throwing them around. Yeah, there's a big mess, but guess what? This mess means that that they're not walking around without shoes, or shoes that have holes in them, right? Or shoes that are too small, or whatever it is. And so that's one of the ways we can move up the map of consciousness. We can move up the scale in order to feel and get into that higher level of vibrational frequency. And when we look at the map, oh, I have to share screen. When we look at the map, we see how the joy, right? The state of joy is associated with feeling complete in life. It's associated with feeling serenity, right? Who doesn't want to feel serene? Now, we don't want to feel like, plateau. We want bliss. We want more. We want excitement. We want joy, right? We don't want just like, that would be down here in apathy, right? Where everything is hopeless. We want, and the thing is that we naturally go through these states many times in our day, many times in our day. It just depends on how wide your window. So this is a great opportunity here to teach you about the window of tolerance. Actually, I'm going to save that for another live. I don't want to get too off topic. So letting go, right? Letting go of the ego. When we are stuck in the lower levels of consciousness, its tendency is to be talked about as the level of ego, And hello, everybody. Welcome. So we're just talking about the map of consciousness. And when we are trapped in the lower levels, we tend to think of we are limited, we can't, there isn't a lot of options, we feel stuck, right? Now, Marianne Williamson says, the ego says, once everything falls into place, I find peace. Spirit says, find peace, and then everything will fall into place, right? That is the way of life. That is the truth of reality. All right. When you find the inner peace, the inner joy, the inner love, the inner expansion, that's where the outer joy, the outer expansion, the outer love all come into place. That's where it all happens. So it's not about the outer game going and doing. It's about the inner game. It's about being in here. Default setting gratitude. I love that. The comment goes, currently wearing a t-shirt that says, quote, default setting gratitude. This is what's going to change your life, is the default setting of gratitude. Because gratitude is the doorway, to joy, peace, love, and acceptance, right? Gratitude, believe it or not, gratitude teaches us acceptance, because to have gratitude for something, underneath that gratitude, there is a level of acceptance, and it's very sneaky. This is why gratitude is a sneaky little practice that anyone can do, especially if you have trouble accepting. If you're one of those people who have trouble accepting what's happening, accepting the moment for what it is, and you're always constantly trying to change it, then gratitude is the path to go to. Because gratitude, by being grateful that the shoes were all plastered around the floor, by being grateful that I could afford to have multiple pairs of shoes for my kids, that underneath that is acceptance that the shoes are all plastered over the floor. It's okay. It's all right already, because There's the gratitude, the acceptance is underneath the gratitude. But a lot of us have a lot of trouble, a lot of resistance, right? Give me a hands up in the chat, or give me some hearts in the chat if you also tend to have resistance over accepting what is here right now, whether it's accepting the situation, accepting the body, accepting the thought, accepting the interaction, accepting that you cannot change the other person's point of view. All of those things, all of those things. If you have gratitude towards the body, you have gratitude towards the other person, you have gratitude towards the situation. I'm so glad I am in this situation because I know that there's a lesson coming from me. I know that the situation is, there's something in it for me, right? I'm grateful for the situation, even though it doesn't feel comfortable. What happens? What happens underneath that gratitude is an acceptance that I am in this situation, isn't it? Isn't it? It's like, I accept, I am here, right? But when we don't have the gratitude piece, then we are missing out on the natural acceptance piece. And that's why gratitude practices work so well. And that's why I encourage gratitude practices, for sure. My eyelashes bothering me. Okay. Are any other questions? Any questions that we have so far? Any questions that we have so far? So enlightenment, how do we get all the way up to enlightenment? This is the goal for some of us. Let me know in the chat. Actually, I'm really curious. Let me know in the chat. What is your goal? Is your goal enlightenment in this lifetime? Maybe not, and that's okay, right? What is your goal in this lifetime? Do you have a goal in this lifetime? Do you desire to be at a certain level? At a certain level. Okay, I've been practicing gratitude for 7 years, but doesn't necessarily help me with acceptance. Okay, so I'd love to know more about what your gratitude practice actually feels like, what it feels like in the body, what it feels like to you, and keep going with it. Keep going with it. Yeah. So let me know in the chat, do you have a goal in mind? Is, for some beings that are here on this planet, our goal, like myself, is enlightenment. Like this is it. Focusing on reaching that level of enlightenment is some people's goal. Other people are like, you know what, if I could just be happy, that would be it, right? Like I don't need more than that. So what is your goal in life? How do you want to explore? How do you want to view and experience life, right? How do you want to view and experience life? For me, I feel like I know I'm not at calibration level 600 because I've calibrated myself, but I do fall under the calibration levels between 500 and 550 often. And when we calibrate ourselves often, and you will notice a rise in calibration, that if you desire to be up here in joy and peace, if your goal is to move up into peace and enlightenment in this lifetime, well, I've got good news for you. I've got good news for you. And the good news is that it is already yours. The Buddha actually states that if one chooses enlightenment in this lifetime, so what does he say? He says, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the quote in front of me, but to be born a human is one of the greatest gifts. To be born on earth is one of the greatest gifts. And to be born human is a higher level of enlightenment, a higher level of consciousness, to be born human. And so that's even a bigger gift. And to be in a human being state and to choose love, peace, joy, enlightenment, to choose higher states of consciousness is the ultimate gift. Once you make that decision, once you choose that this is your path, Once you remember in this human life that this is the path that your soul chose, nothing can stop you. That is your destiny, whether in this lifetime or another, that is your destiny. So there's no need for trying anymore. There's no need for like worrying, will I get there? Will I get there? I know whether it's this lifetime or another, the path that I've chosen, the practices that I continue to do, the messages, the connection, all of the things are heading to that direction. I know the station where my train stops. I'm on the tracks. I'm on the train already. I cannot control the speed of the train. That is up to the divine, right? I just know that that's the station. That's the station that, my ticket is heading to that station. And there are stops along the way that other people might get off, other beings might get off and go and explore those levels, those spaces, and be perfectly content. I'm on the train. I'm on the tracks. It is moving. And the only thing we don't have control over is the speed at which it moves. Yet. I'm sure that there's a way to have that have that influence over. Actually, I know that there is a way to have that influence over. It's coming through and it is all already here. So the faster, if you want your train to move faster, and this is just coming through, it's not even me. If you want your train to move faster on the track, I'm gonna cry because consciousness is just like, Charmaine, if you want your train to move faster on the track, you just need to heal and believe and feel it and hear more. You just need to be more. Be you more. That's it. Love more. That's it. That's all it is. Be more of what you want. If you want more love in your life, love more. If you want more gratitude in your life, be more grateful. If you want more peace in your life, be more peaceful. It's about being, not doing. And when we be, we become, and then we have. I already believe that life and the human story is beautiful, and I bring light to the shadow for transformation and soul evolution of others. I love that. Yes. Enlightenment and joy are my goals. Joy and peace are my goals. Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Carl Jung says, enlightenment is not imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. This is self-realization when we start to bring into conscious awareness the subconscious thoughts, the subconscious programming, and everything is a program. Everything is absolutely everything is a program. What I'm saying to you is also a program. It is the truth program. It is the original program. It is the program that is the base you already have. I'm not programming you. I am revealing the program that is already in you, right? It's all a program. All of the beliefs, everything is all a program. And if you want to clear, it's not learning something new. It's clearing all the fake negative programs. Discovered a limiting belief that the masculine doesn't want me to have anything good. Oh, yeah. That's a negative program. The belief of a masculine and feminine is also a program. It's all a program. Yes, there are energies. Yes, they have, characteristics, all of those things. It's all also programs. The truth of the matter is there's only one love. There's only love and light, and joy and love and light are one. And anyway, I digress. I'm not going to go into a whole nother thing. Oh, what questions do you have? What questions do you have? We explored today the map of consciousness. We gained insights from our spiritual teachers and our leaders. And remember that this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, because as you take these teachings and make them your own, as you embody them in your body and understand them in a lived experience. I know we didn't do much movement today. I apologize. We will. We'll do a movement another day, but as we embody these teachings, that is where all of the power is. You can read all the books, you can take all the courses, you can listen to all of these webinars and all, come to live week over week. And actually, I highly recommend it because normally we do a lot more movement and we're embodying these teachings. Today, not so much. But this is the key, right? Is embodying these teachings, becoming the people that you want to become, becoming the state that you want to experience life from. And knowing that the map of consciousness is so heavily misinterpreted in mainstream media and in mainstream coaching and all of that stuff, right? Let me know in the chat. Actually, if you're watching the replay, I'm also interested. I'll put a poll out there in our beautiful Facebook community, but I would love to know, would you like me to create a masterclass? It would be a paid masterclass, maybe 90 minutes or so, maybe 60. I'll try to make it short, on the map of consciousness and actually understanding how to utilize it, what it's all about, how to dissect it, how to bring it to fruition, embody the teachings from it, and help your clients to understand it. If you would like that, type in masterclass in the chat and I will create that for you. And it would be a low investment, but it would be an investment because it would be a lot of teaching that I would have to do and create this masterclass for you. So it would take some time for me to do. And so if you would like that, if you want more of in-depth teaching on the map of consciousness, how to embody those teachings, how to move up the scale of consciousness, right? Then let me know and I'm happy to create that for you. Type in masterclass in the chat. Also, today is day 3 for the Inertia of Confidence course. Today is day 3 for the Inertia of Confidence course. So if you haven't yet signed up for that and you are interested in knowing more about that course, we are exploring even more embodiment and we are getting to the top of the mountain today so that we can allow inertia to continue to roll down the hill with ease and help us to continue being more and more confident. And if you haven't joined that yet and you would like to join that the next time it comes around, please type in inertia in the chat or type in course. Inertia is hard to spell. Type in course in the chat and I will ensure that we get you in for the next round, which will be in a few weeks. Mwah! I'm loving you infinitely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got a lot out of this session and I'll see you next week. Loving you infinitely.